Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Woman Radio. I'm your host, Tammy Trayer, and this is episode number 220. It's been quite a while. Things have been ramping up here. Things have been very crazy. And Mrs. Copper, my Rhodesian Ridgeback, had surgery a little over 3 weeks ago. She had a lump on her leg that ended up being cancer, so we had that removed, and she has been put on, I guess you could call it, bed rest. She's been supposed to be immobile, not to do stairs. She didn't do stairs for 2.5 weeks. Because of the location of the lump on her leg, it was hard to stitch things fully closed. So she has quite a large open wound on her leg. And today, this is actually a very impromptu podcast. She and I got out for our first walk here, just did a nice slow walk up here. And as you can see, it's quite smoky behind me. Usually you can see the mountains behind me, and right now it's just smoke. But we decided to come up here, sit, do some devotions, and just get out. She's been cooped up, and it doesn't do her well or myself. But I thought, I don't even have the tripod. I just thought that I would do this podcast and just do a little bit of an encouraging message for you all. I know that things are crazy. Lots of change this year. Lots of unknowns still. And it's easy to become complacent during these times. And big girl's laying here with me. I paused there just a little bit for those that are watching on YouTube, for them to see the big girl laying here next to me. We're just chilling out in the shade here a little bit. But it's easy to become complacent, especially when you get overwhelmed, especially when you're not sure what you need to do. And I just wanted to take time today to encourage you, regardless what you have going on. You know, some of you may be unable to get out and about due to health reasons. And maybe some of you are sending kids off to school. Others are choosing to homeschool your children, more or less. Lots of change, and some of you may still be out of work. And it can become a time of great discouragement. And, you know, right now more than ever, we need to keep our eyes on God, keep focusing forward. You know, we have got a tremendous amount on our plates right now. We are working our way out of our old homestead, as the new homeowner will be taking over soon. So we are working on some projects that he had asked us to, and working our way literally out of the house. And we will be setting up our camp here on this homestead, in this property, as we build our homestead, I should say. So the tents will be getting set up here in the next day or so. And it's getting a little tricky to exist. We've got things in 2 different places, so it's making things interesting. So it'll be refreshing in a lot of ways to just be set up here. I'm looking very forward to being in the tents. It is so dry, so no fires will be fires won't be an option. So it may get a little chilly, but that's okay. I really tremendously loved living in the tents when we built our first homestead a decade ago. And it was just a very simplistic time and just such an adventure. And I'm looking very forward to doing the same. Right now, we have our concrete pillars waiting for us and the sawmill waiting for us to start milling our logs and getting our own home built. So it's a little later in the year than we would have liked, but you know, often you're just given the day-to-day and you got to roll with what you're given. We had a lot of chickens before the eggs with weather in this early year, and needing to get things out of the old homestead to be able to work in there. So it was a little tricky for quite a while, but really excited about all the progress that's going on. It can be overwhelming. There's a lot to do. But like I said, when you focus on the tasks at hand, taking one day at a time, and just continuing to move forward, that is one of the biggest things that we need to focus on. A lot of times people get discouraged and they become dead in their tracks. And that's why I want to encourage you that if you feel like you are complacent right now, stuck, that you need to just focus on one thing at a time and just keep moving forward and focusing faithfully forward, and everything will come together. You know, one of the greatest things that we focus on is doing things in God's timing, letting Him lead the way. And it really makes life so much more pleasant when you focus in that direction, when you allow those things to happen, and when you just have great faith and trust in that. I blew the ant right off of me onto you. Sorry. Bug was crawling on me. So I just want to encourage you. You know, we've got a lot going on, but I want to encourage you guys to join us. This is so much fun. Seeing things come to fruition, seeing things materialize, seeing the fruits of our labor. What we are doing on the old homestead is exactly what we had intended to do. So being able to see that finalized, and also just a gift of separation, that we can walk away from that homestead and begin our new life, begin our new homestead. And we are also blessed with Glenn's cousin, Christopher, that has joined us out here. He is a tremendous asset. He has already been in construction, so he is able to take on some of, the instructions that the mountain man gives him, and just roll while mountain man's doing something else. I'm doing something else. We all have a hand in this right now. They are working on a concrete countertop for the kitchen. They did 2 of the pieces already, poured those, they are dry, and then this is the last piece that's being poured currently. Monday, I will be staining the countertop, and then Tuesday putting the final coat on there, and we will be able to put that in place. So it's just really neat to all have our hands in on this project. We are all working diligently and keeping a very steady pace. Mountain Man and I have been running this race since Good Friday, and our eyes are on the prize. We are anxious to be able to sit on our new front porch and just chillax with a cup of coffee, taking in the view, and by then I imagine it will be smoke-free. And wanted to mention that we are praying for all of you affected by these fires. You know, this is normal here in the Pacific Northwest. Things get very dry, and there's always the threat of wildfires. It's really disturbing to know that many of these have been set. It's a sick and twisted person that does stuff like that. But we are sending prayers up for all of you. The smoke is dangerous, especially for those with lung and breathing issues. But just the dangers of the fires themselves. We had storms come in on Monday with heavy winds that really caused a lot of escalation in the fires and made it difficult to keep them contained. And the fires are in Washington and Idaho and Oregon and California, so just pray for all those that are affected by these fires, and just stay safe out there. It's pretty crazy. I mean, right now I'm actually feeling it in my throat from the smoke here today, so it's pretty heavy. But I just wanted to jump on here. This is a short and sweet one. Like I said, this is very impromptu. Wasn't intending to do this at this particular moment in the day, but I'm glad that I was nudged to do so. I miss you all. This is quite the year. I encourage you guys to join myself live on YouTube on our Trayer Wilderness channel every Wednesday at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. That is one thing that I will not waver on through this build, is I will make sure that I get that in every week. There have been occasions here recently where I have not been able to keep the Wednesday and have rescheduled, but we got our internet up here last Monday, and things are progressing. So join me live. Would love to get to meet you guys. We have an amazing community of loving and welcoming people, and lots of great information always being shared. I will do my best to continue keeping these podcasts going and give you an update. There are some videos out. We have a playlist of our new cabin build on YouTube. And if you go to our website at trayerwilderness.com, the very first thing you'll come to is the opportunity to click on a link and follow all that's going on. As I start getting the videos out there, I've got so many photos and videos, I just don't have the time to edit them. So there will be a lot shared later and after the fact, but we will also do, as we are building, we will be doing live footage of the build and what we've got going on so that you can stay tuned and keep up with that. We would love to have you join us. This is going to be a handcrafted log cabin. Most people are familiar with a cabin with horizontal logs. We will be building this with vertical logs. It'll be very unique, and it is a tiny cabin. We are excited about that and anxious to downsize and just be able to live our lives the way we desired when we moved out here a decade ago. Fortunately, with my medical situation and my medical debt, it caused us to really experience difficulties, but moving forward here, we are really excited about what we have coming ahead between classes and our handcrafted products. The Mountain Man is going to jump back into doing his furniture and knife making and getting back on the forge. I will be working on my leather work and my drawings and different paintings and different things that I have going on, as well as jewelry. So we have a lot we wish to do, and we're anxious to get settled in, anxious for hunting season that's upon us. Right now it's archery season here in northern Idaho, but we are anxious to get our freezer full once again and get out into the woods trapping this winter as well. So there'll be a lot to follow. We will be heating our home with a wood cook stove, so I will be doing a lot of cooking videos once we are in the home as well. So lots to share, lots to learn, and we would love to have you continue to join us not only on the podcast here at Mountain Woman Radio, but on our YouTube channel. And my articles will be hitting varying magazines. I've been doing a lot of that while we've been progressing through the build. In my I'll sneak away and get some writing done periodically here, but God's been greatly inspiring me. This adventure is very inspiring. And I just look forward to encouraging you and inspiring you to embrace your dreams. Life is short, and we need to live life by our terms, and that is something that we are very grateful to be able to do. So thanks for joining me today here on Mountain Woman Radio. This is episode number 220. You can go to trayerwilderness.com/podcast-220 for the show notes, and also to see all the archived podcasts there. And I wish you the best. I encourage you to stay safe and diligent, pay attention to your surroundings, and don't become complacent. Keep focusing forward, faithfully forward, and I'll catch you on the next podcast. You guys take care. God bless.